Hello everyone, this is my vintage junk journal, mini junk journal, because the cover is 4 inches by 5 inches and the pages are a little bit smaller. This paper, I liked how the cover came out because the paper looks like an old vintage book. This is some trim I found, some rosettes, and here you can see how it looks like one of these old vintage books. It has 4 signatures, so it's kind of a chunky little book. And you can see my closure, which I like to use the elastic and the button. And the edging, on the edging as I do the walkthrough, you will see there is a lot of Martha Stewart edge punching. And I use some lace, the bias tape lace there for the edges. I like to do stamping, and this is a die cut I have, and so this is another stamp that I have, and so these 3 are inside the first pocket. This is a Prima paper, and there's some lace trim at the bottom. And as we do the walkthrough, the roses are the theme. And this is all papers, and because of the size I really didn't use that much, so all the scraps I had I made into tags that would go inside the book. Now I made this journal after the use it or lose it journal I made, because I found this bag that I usually stash all my stuff when I'm cleaning. So all this paper printouts were all in there, and I love these little mini tags that these mini journals allow you to make. There you see the punch, Martha Stewart punch, and this printable was in the bag. And I like to use these little tucks. Here are 2 tags. I like tucks a lot more than I like pockets, and you will see this stamp. And when I'm doing vintage I like to use brown ink. And here you see the pink paper, and there were quite a few sheets of pink paper I had kind of forgotten about. So here, this stamp with the flowers is really a very large Prima stamp, but I liked just the edges peeking through, because when I made this stamp or stamped the paper, I felt there was too much empty space. So I like that effect. You don't have to use all of the stamp, just edge it. Here's another pocket. This pocket is made from a 4.5 inch square. I saw Dealy Girl who gave me the dimensions, which I do love this size pockets. So thank you, Dealy Girl. And here you see that stamp. And you will see that I usually pick 3-4 stamps that I really use for the background or for accents. Here is again a little pocket. Here's a little, came from a little corner, a tag, and then you see a doily. And I was gifted some wrapping paper, and this is what I mean about using up all your paper. And I had a small little scrap of parchment paper, and it makes a lovely little tag that fits with this book. This was a line of stickers that I used. I found this paper, this music practice paper. So most of it, was just stray paper. Little side-loading pocket, the punching. This is the center of the first signature, which I tend to leave plain many times. Again, because of the color and the punching, just a simple flower is very attractive. And the same right here. This is a small little, I think it's just a decoration. It's not a tuck spot like I usually do. Little bird. This is a side pocket that they flip over, kind of like and there you see Moments. And here's the stamp you will see throughout this whole journal. This is some bias tape lace with some stamping, and it acts as a little tuck for some extra paper I had left over. This is a fan printable that I had, and I thought, oh, that would look very nice, go along with this vintage journal. Here is a little pocket that everyone's seen these, and there are two pockets, two tags, excuse me. And as you can see right up here, you see that punching, that the stamping I told you. I also had a printout of a lot of small little butterflies, and I cut them out, and I really like that effect of printout with some stamping, and you will see that also throughout the journal. Again, a little corner tuck, some stamping up here, two tags. It just looks pretty, very dainty. This is a tag I made from a napkin. It had been floating around my stash. It does look vintagey enough to fit into this journal. Doesn't want to go in, but we will keep on going. Here is the beginning of the second signature. As you can see, the papers lend themselves, they can stand alone. You can write on them. I figured whoever receives this journal can add their own touches to it. Another pocket, you see the tag. This is a butterfly stamp. And again, the stamping, the punching, and a flower. Just a variety of printouts, a lot of tags. I didn't count how many tags, but there sure is a lot of them. Key moments, the pocket, and here's another tuck. Oops, this book is kind of hard to hold on to. And here is another bicycle stamp. Here's some parchment paper, a little banner and a flower that this printable holds, a little printable. Talked about that. Oops, this seems kind of stuck. A doily, as you can see, it's very pretty. This is one of my favorite stamps, and you can add a message there, and I usually put it behind a doily that acts as a small pocket. And again, you can see that real pretty pink food coloring. And oops, over here on this side, this is a corset die I have. Here is what I like. Here, all these little pieces of paper, and this is that wrapping paper, and it just kind of fits really nicely. Here's a side loading pocket. Forgot to put a tag in there. Do that a little bit later. Here's like another tuck spot. This is a fold out with some stamping. You can see the stamping at the top and at the bottom. And it acts as a pocket. And I don't know, I might have to do a little bit of trimming on that little girl. A little snugger than I like. This is the end of the second, beginning of the third signature. Oops. I guess there's a pocket there. Here's a tuck with two tags and the stamping. And there you see the coffee stain and the pink food coloring, or it's actually red. And you can see more of that stamping, just the edges, and it's such a nice effect. This is a piece of napkin that I had left over. And the tag, this, I guess, faux envelope is also like a pocket, little tuck spot. And just for fun, I decided to put a napkin decoupage, and that's what this napkin, someone gifted it to me in a swap. And another little edge right here, little piece, another piece of it, and I just think it looks so pretty. So here's a little bit of napkin decoupage, little pocket, seeing this little rose, some more small little tucks with two tiny, well, this is a tiny tag and the other's probably a regular sized one. And here you see the lace. And again, that hand printable. This is some parchment paper And this is from some wrapping paper, and here's a little bit of napkin. And these were just little pieces, and I just put them in just to fill in some spaces. Sometimes I get tired of doing the same thing, so I add some little surprises. Here's the pocket, and here's another tuck spot. You can see the little tags there. And the lace, here's a little banner tuck. A pocket. This is that same wrapping paper, just a little piece of paper. So there, like I said, I didn't count how many tags there are, but there are quite a few of them. Stamping. This is kind of like a little book, Cream of Roses, a tiny little tag. And this is again another one of my favorite stamps. These little girls all dressed as little butterflies. And again, I've talked about that. The envelope there, and here's a little message right there. I think this is the beginning of the fourth signature. This pocket has some lace and a little sticker there. This is a side-loading pocket, and here's a tag. Here's a butterfly that's acting as a little tuck spot for this picture. So this is a very pretty page. Here's my girl again. The little lace down here at the bottom is a bias tape, and it's acting as a pocket. Again, you see that envelope. This is a tag that I stamped, and it opens like that. This lady, I like her, and little tuck, another little tuck spot behind, in front of that doily. This is the center, and this is giant pocket. And here's a side-loading pocket with two tags. And this is really a nice effect, and it happens by accident. I usually, when I'm coffee staining or staining any of my papers, I'd lay them on an old dish towel. Well, usually I do coffee staining, and then I do maybe something different. And sometimes the coffee will soak through, and it gives you this wonderful vintage effect. And I just saw this, and I can't even tell you whose videos, where they get these strips of paper and they make like a little notebook. Then it is put kind of tucked, and it's part of the decoration as well as being a little book. So I really like that effect. I wish I could remember who I saw this with, but I do like this. Here's a tiny little tag, and it looks really wonderful behind this little tuck spot right there. Another one of my stamps. You can put something there. Again, you've seen these key moments. Another tuck spot right there. This is a belly band made out, looks like cigar wrappers. And again, this folds down. You can see the stamping. And this is the end of the journal with an envelope, and again, 3 tags. I really liked making this journal. I really like the smaller ones. It was a lot of fun because I've been making these larger ones, and this was a lot of fun to make. I had forgotten about the smaller size journals. So again, you might try this out. Wonderful way of using some smaller size paper that you have floating in your stash. So once again, choose joy, and we'll see you again. Thank you for watching.